that was pushed upon me was the way I had to fight, because everything that this man said to me was contrary to that. You ain't shit, you ain't this, you can't do this, you ugly. So I had to fight in my prayer time in the morning with that same kind of fight, with that same kind of tactic.
Have you heard the awful rumors about Mary J. Blige? Many people have been talking about her life and career, but is there any truth to what's being said? After years of silence, Mary J. Blige has finally decided to speak up.
If you're a Mary J. Blige fan, you know the hell that I've been through, and you know how much I hated myself, but
What did she have to say about these rumors? Why is it important for her to clear the air? Let's find out what she revealed. Mary J. Blige's rise to fame started when she signed with Uptown Records. Right from the beginning, she worked with Sean Combs, also known as Puff Daddy, who became her producer. Puff Daddy played a huge role in making Mary J. Blige's first album, What's the 411, a big success, released on July 28, 1992. What's the 411 was a mix of R&B and hip-hop.
What's the 411, hun?
What's the 411, hun?
I got it going on, hun.
The album's title itself showed that Mary was serious about her music. She was not just another singer, she was someone with a story to tell, and her music reflected her real-life experiences. Critics and fans noticed her unique sound, calling her a tough girl with street-smart lyrics. Her voice was powerful, and her songs connected deeply with her audience. The album went on to be a big hit, reaching number 6 on the Billboard 200 and topping the R&B charts. It even went 3 times platinum in the United States. By the end of 1992, Mary J. Blige was recognized as the most successful new female R&B artist in the US. As Mary J. Blige's career grew, she got involved in various projects. She recorded a cover of Aretha Franklin's song, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, for a TV show. She also worked on a song called Every Day It Rains for a documentary. But it wasn't just about making music. Mary J. Blige continued to rise in fame, and in 1996, she released the hit song Not Gonna Cry, which became a top charting single. She even received her first 2 Grammy nominations and won 1 for her collaboration with Method Man on the song I'll Be There For You, You're All I Need to Get By. In 1997, Mary J. Blige released her 3rd album, Share My World. By then, she had parted ways with Puff Daddy and worked with new producers. This album marked a change in her life and music. At that time, Mary was working hard to overcome personal struggles, including her battle with drugs and alcohol. She started focusing on creating more positive, happier music, which resulted in songs like Love Is All We Need. In the title track, Share My World.
I was ready to just end it all and move on, because I was really down there. You know, I was really calling for help.
Mary's journey to success was not easy. After she released her first album, What's the 411, her life changed a lot. At that time, she was still living with her family in the projects of Yonkers, New York. Even though her songs were playing on the radio, not everyone was happy for her. In an interview with Makers, Blige shared that her neighbors didn't cheer for her success. Instead, some people in her neighborhood were angry and even jealous. People want to buy your records. They want to see you, she said, but people in the neighborhood wanted to kill you for it. Blige felt like she had been taken out of her rough environment, but thrown into a world that was just as tough. She had to survive the only way she knew how. Blige admitted that her early years in music felt like hell, but in that difficult time, she found that singing could help her. She said, I was like, whoa, you have to sing for your life. This realization inspired her second album, My Life. She called this album her Cry for Help. At first, she didn't think anyone would hear her pain through her music, but her fans did. They connected with the raw emotions in her songs. The album was filled with the depression and struggles she was facing in real life. By pouring all her pain into her lyrics, Blige created powerful music that touched millions of people.
Drugs started up heavier than ever, and I figured I'll sniff my life away. I just do drugs until I drop dead.
Life wasn't easy for Blige, even after her music career took off. She went through many heartbreaking events which led her to use drugs. In a 2013 interview with Los Angeles Confidential, she admitted to using cocaine to escape her pain. She said there were so many dark moments in her life, and drugs became her way of trying to numb that pain. When she finally gave up cocaine, she replaced it with alcohol. She said she used alcohol to cover up her feelings of guilt, shame, and abandonment. But in 2012, she had a wake-up call.
Like, I stopped immediately when I realized that, I could lose my voice over this. I could lose my career.
The death of Whitney Houston deeply affected her. Her death is another reason I stopped drinking. Blige didn't go to rehab to fight her addiction. Instead, she turned to her faith. She believed God could help her more than any rehab center. I decided to pray and to seek God on my own, she said. I just stayed in the Word, and it worked. Even though she overcame her struggles with addiction, Blige admitted she didn't stop drinking completely. In a 2012 interview on The Wendy Williams Show, she explained that she still has occasional drinks with friends, but now she no longer relies on alcohol to deal with sadness or hard times. Mary's personal life has been far from smooth. She's had to deal with tough relationships that brought her pain and heartbreak. Let's talk about two big relationships in her life and how she found her strength. In the 1990s, Mary was in love with Cedric Casey Haley, a member of the famous R&B group Jodeci. They were both stars in the same music world, and their relationship lasted 12 years. On the outside, they looked like a perfect couple. But Mary later shared that their love was far from perfect. She admitted the relationship was abusive and filled with disrespect. One moment stands out. Mary and Jodeci were in London for a show. During an interview, Mary told everyone she and Casey were engaged. But then the TV show played a clip of Casey saying, "Casey is not getting married." You can imagine how embarrassed and hurt Mary felt. On camera, she quickly said, "No, we're not getting married now." Even after this, Mary didn't walk away. She wanted to hold on to the relationship she had fought so hard for. But in the end, she had to let go for her own peace and well-being. But that is not all. She also had a painful marriage with Martin "Kendu" Isaacs. Things seemed good at first. Kendu became her manager and they worked together. But by 2016, things had fallen apart. Mary filed for divorce, saying they just couldn't work things out. The breakup was messy. There were fights about money and rumors surfaced that Kendu had cheated. Mary revealed during her VH1 documentary, Strength of a Woman, that Kendu's cheating hurt her deeply. She believed he had an affair with someone very close to her, a singer she had mentored named Linnea Starshell Menzies. Though Mary didn't name Starshell directly in the documentary, it was clear she blamed her for the heartbreak.
I think that once you start getting hotter and hotter, or people are starting to talk about you more and more, everything like soap opera life, right? Like, you're always looking for something, and if someone's too clean or too good or something, they have to attach something to you. So for me, it was a compliment.
Mary told Ne-Yo, a fellow singer and producer, that it was humiliating to be betrayed like that. She said, "All these years, and you picked someone else? That hurt so bad." Mary also warned Ne-Yo to keep Starshell away from their work together. On top of that, Mary claimed Kendu spent over $420,000 on travel. Not for work, but for his mistress. That was a huge betrayal for Mary, both emotionally and financially. The turmoil she experienced throughout her life almost pushed her over the edge. And the singer revealed to CNN that at one point, she even struggled with suicidal thoughts. Speaking candidly, Mary J. Blige stated, "I guess it was something in me did want to die. I guess my spirit didn't want to die. But my physical body definitely was at some point was like, I gotta get out of here." Thankfully, her inner self helped her through those dark moments. "My physical body was contemplating suicide and all this other crazy stuff," she continued, "and my spirit is what saved me, I believe."
And I guess that's what it calls it the blue.
Now imagine walking into a fancy store, ready to spend your hard-earned money, only to be treated badly. That's what happened to Mary J. Blige in the early 1990s. She talked about this shocking experience in the new docuseries In Vogue, the 90s. Back then, Mary was just starting her career. She and her stylist, Misa Hilton, loved fashion and finally had the money to buy expensive clothes. Misa shared in the show, Mary J. Blige was the first artist I ever styled. We clicked right away. We both loved hip-hop, fashion, and style. Mary remembered those times too. We were shopping so much because we didn't have much when we were younger, she said. When we finally had money, we were using our credit cards to buy everything we wanted. But one shopping trip didn't go as planned. Mary and Misa went into a boutique to buy luxury items. When it was time to pay, the cashier kept saying Mary's credit card wasn't working. We called the credit card company and they said there was no problem with the card, Misa explained. That's when we realized the cashier wasn't even trying to run the card. They just didn't want to take our money. Mary said it was clear why they were treated that way. It was because we were young and black, she said. The cashier couldn't believe they could afford such expensive things. They treated us like kids from the street. They didn't respect us, and they didn't want our business, Mary shared. This experience wasn't just about one store. Back then, luxury brands often didn't value black customers. They didn't think their items belonged on black people. Misa said the cashier didn't even know who Mary J. Blige was at the time. Things have changed now, but moments like this left a mark. The En Vogue. The 90s episode also talks about how black artists like Mary J. Blige and Missy Elliott helped change fashion. Mary, Missy, and rapper Lil' Kim even appeared in a groundbreaking Vogue photo shoot in 1998. Missy said, "It was a big deal to show 3 black women in Vogue. It took a lot of effort to make that happen."
I was mad at him, mad at everything, mad at the world. And you reach a point where it's like, nobody loves me.
Growing up in Yonkers, New York, Mary J. Blige lived with her mom, Cora, her sister, 5 cousins, and 2 aunts. Music was always a big part of her life. She told The Telegraph that soul artists like Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle were always playing at home. But while music brought joy, her home life was far from happy.
Self-confidence. I didn't have any self-love. Everything was hate towards myself. So, how could I have expectations for someone to love anything that I did?
Blige grew up in a tough neighborhood, surrounded by poverty and drugs. In an interview with The Guardian, she said some hard truths about her family. She described them as angry, hateful, jealous, ignorant, prideful people. She even called her aunts very mean people. Her relationship with her mom was also strained. Blige shared that her mom wanted to be a singer and felt bitter about Blige's success. "Maybe she's living through me," Blige said, "but it's probably why we've never really gotten along." In 2017, it seemed things had improved between them. During VH1's Dear Mom event, Blige gave a touching speech. "I'm happy I chose you to be my mom because you gave me everything I love about me," she said. Also, Blige's father, Thomas, left the family when she was a child. In 2002, Blige shared about the pain of that experience. For years, she didn't see her father. When they finally met, Thomas was focused on his failed music career. He had been a bass player, but he didn't make it in the industry. Instead of celebrating her success, Thomas seemed bitter. He thought she had taken what he couldn't have. Still, Blige credited him for teaching her how to sing, hold notes, and harmonize. She even thanked him in the credits of her early albums. But by 2001, their relationship had soured again. When Blige released her album No More Drama, her father's name was no longer mentioned in the credits.
No more game messing with my mind. No more drama.
Also, Mary J. Blige said as a child, she didn't care about getting an education, and she ultimately dropped out of school in the 11th grade. Reading at only an 8th grade level meant she ran into many issues throughout her career. It hurts a lot when you cannot really comprehend what a person is saying in a meeting, or you don't even understand what you're reading in your contract, she said. In 2011, she decided to make her education a priority by obtaining her GED. "What I came to understand about education is that it is the key to life," she said. There were also rumors that she was headed off to Howard University, and that rumor allegedly came straight from Blige herself. After her performance in New York's Central Park, she allegedly shared with the crowd that she had gotten accepted to the college and would begin her studies in 2014. Everyone was completely shocked by the news, especially the university. But then came a statement from the school, and they shot down the rumor and denied Blige had been accepted to the historically black campus. However, they left the door open for her to someday become an HU Bison by saying, "We are happy to work with Ms. Blige on completing the formal process for admission."
All the pain endured to give life, and we keep giving.
Mary has always cared deeply about helping women. In 2009, she co-founded a center in Yonkers, New York, called the Foundation for the Advancement of Women Now, FFAWN. This center was made to give women and young girls a safe place to learn skills, improve their lives, and feel stronger inside. For Blige, this was more than just a project, it was personal. When the center opened, Mary J. Blige shared her mixed emotions during the ribbon-cutting ceremony. While speaking to CNN, she explained why she wanted to help women. "As a child, I saw women suffer through really terrible situations," she said. "I promised myself as a little girl that I would do something to help women have better self-esteem so they wouldn't end up in harmful relationships." Even though opening the center was a happy moment, it also brought back painful memories. "It was both happy and sad," Blige explained. "The sad part was being in the same place where I saw so many women, including myself, go through hard times. But the happy part is that I'm back to help. I'm doing what I always dreamed of doing." Mary has always been open in her music and in interviews about the struggles she has faced.
If you are a Mary J. Blige fan, you know the hell that I've been through, and you know how much I hated myself, but I have.
But as she told Self magazine in 2019, there are some things she keeps private. "People think they know everything about me, but they don't," she said. "You only know what I tell you, and I don't share everything." Blige explained that growing up in a tough neighborhood taught her to keep certain things to herself. "We couldn't tell everything back then," she said. "It could be dangerous. So I'll tell you enough to connect with you, but not everything that could harm me." Even though she doesn't share all her personal experiences, Blige knows that being honest about her past helps others. "The bond I have with my fans is so special," she said. "I'm not going to stop sharing my story because it's like therapy for us. If my pain can help someone else heal, then it's worth it." Now let's talk about her connection to Jay-Z. Mary J. Blige and Jay-Z have built one of the strongest and most respected relationships in the music industry. Their connection goes beyond just being fellow artists. They've supported each other both professionally and personally. One of the most interesting stories about their bond comes from the creation of Jay-Z's song, "Can't Knock the Hustle." Combat Jack, a well-known music figure, once shared his experience with Complex magazine about the drama surrounding the song's release. He explained how Mary J. Blige was originally set to be a big part of Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. Back in the day, Mary J. Blige was a huge star in R&B and hip-hop, known as the Queen of R&B and hip-hop. She had already made her mark when Jay-Z was still an unknown rapper trying to break into the music world. When Jay-Z wanted to include her on his album, the label had concerns. They didn't want to associate a rising star like Mary J. Blige with a newcomer like Jay-Z. Despite this, Mary decided to do Jay-Z a favor and contributed vocals for "Can't Knock the Hustle."
Peace of mind, 'cause you can't knock the hustle.
At first, the label didn't want to let Mary J. Blige's involvement be too public. They ordered that no singles, no videos, and no ads be made for the song. Dame Dash, the co-founder of Rockefeller Records, was not happy about this and argued with the record company. Things got tense and Combat Jack had to step in to try to save the situation. After a lot of drama, Mary J. Blige's vocals stayed on the album, but the song had to be reworked for promotion, with another singer replacing her in the video. Despite all the drama, the song ended up being a huge success. "Can't Knock the Hustle" was praised by critics, especially for its smooth beat and Mary's unforgettable hook. The song became the perfect way for Jay-Z to introduce himself to the world, showing that he wasn't just another rapper, but someone with a unique voice in the music industry. Years later, their professional bond turned into a strong friendship. Mary J. Blige was one of the first celebrities to congratulate Jay-Z and Beyoncé when they got married. She made a special shout out to the couple during a concert in North Carolina, showing just how close they had become. Her words, "Congratulations to my friends Jay-Z and Beyoncé," were a touching moment that proved how deep their friendship ran.
They've helped me heal just as much as I helped them heal by buying that My Life album. I was completely suicidal on that My Life album, but for
Mary also faced the challenges of being a woman in the music industry. She had to deal with unfair treatment because of her gender. Many times women in music are judged differently from men, and Blige has spoken out about this. It's harder for women to be taken seriously, and they often have to work twice as hard to be noticed. Blige has also faced some financial troubles. Like many celebrities, she has had to deal with money problems. She had issues with taxes, and there were reports about her owing money. These troubles were all over the news, which made things even harder for her. Despite her success, Blige had to fight through these tough times, showing that even famous people have their struggles. Another challenge Blige faced was backlash from fans when she appeared in a Burger King commercial. Some people didn't like her being in the ad and thought it was damaging to her image. They felt that it was a bad choice, and it hurt her reputation in the eyes of some fans. She didn't let this stop her, though, and she continued to work hard in her career.
your father held me down when nobody else did. He had my back.
Aside from music, she is also known for her work as an actress. Blige made her mark in movies with roles in films like Mudbound, where she was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. She made history by being the first person to be nominated for both acting and songwriting in the same year. Her acting career includes movies such as Prison Song, Rock of Ages, Betty and Coretta, and Respect. She also voiced a character in Trolls World Tour and appeared in the TV series The Umbrella Academy and Power Book 2, Ghost. In her music career, Blige has achieved huge success. In 2010, Billboard named her the most successful female R&B/hip-hop artist of the past years. Her song, Be Without You, set a record by staying at #1 on the R&B chart for 15 weeks. Over the years, she has won many awards, including a Legends Award at the World Music Awards in 2006 and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2018. Blige's incredible talent has earned her many honors. In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked her as the 25th greatest singer of all time, and in 2024, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mary J. Blige continues to inspire with her music and acting, showing that she is a true legend in both worlds.